Well, good evening. Good evening. I think we are on. We were trying to get the kids settled before we jumped on, so they still are a little loud. I hear them.
Quiet is not in our vocabulary.
Yeah, quiet is not in our vocabulary. I'm trying to get this on just to make sure, but it's not wanting to load. There it goes. Boom! I got it before it made noise. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the ones. I think the Tinker's wife was the first one to say hello. First one on. So, welcome everybody. Polly, you doing good? Katie, 2 quacks and a cluck. How are you, man?
And 5 clucks.
I'm sorry.
Learn how to read.
I can't read. Hey, Miss Darlene. Let's see. Who else? Hey, Dawn. I'm trying to catch everybody. Big Dave, how are you, man? Henry Sonnies. So, let me tell you about Mississippi's weather. Now, have you seen in most of all the crazy last few days? We've had crazy rains, crazy cold. It's been crazy cold. And now tomorrow it's going to be 75. And we're going to have a crazy rainstorm Saturday. And it's going to drop back to like 30. Mississippi. Literally, we let the fire die today to then turn around and start it back 2 days from now. Matt and Sarah, how are you? Single man, what's going on, man?
100% sure we will start it back.
Oh, yeah.
I have to stay in front of the fireplace with a broom. I'm constantly sweeping up because there's stuff that falls off the logs.
Hey, Miss Sandy.
It just gets carried in and chunked around, and then
not by me.
We're walking in trash, and that drives me nuts.
Not by me.
Not that I'm that OCD, but I'm like, I can't just
hey Karen,
waller around and trash all over the floor.
Are we wallering?
So I'm constantly walking around with a broom, sweeping it up, and then I cleaned out the fireplace today because we did let it die. And because it got pretty. I won't say it got really hot today, but it got pretty warm today.
It's in the 60s.
And so I'm sucking all the ash out, and it's just a lot of work.
Hey, PA Swarm King. Yeah, it was crazy because we've literally it was frost this morning and 60 at lunch. That's crazy. That's not normal at all. So that's what Mississippi is. Literally, it's going to be the 70s tomorrow, and then Saturday's supposed to flood and get back cold. Crazy. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Emily. Hey, Samantha. I'm glad you called us live, too. All right, so Sevierville. Oh, man. That's a wonderful place to be, Samantha.
Yes, it is.
That is, I wish we were there. I wish our farm was there. Oh, goodness. Linda Cole said we had 37 this morning, 80 this afternoon. That's what's coming to us from Texas, Linda. That's crazy. That's what makes us really sick, that kind of weather.
Yeah, and it affects our animals, too, because, they try to get out and mosey around, and it's warm, and then it rains and then drops to nothing in a day. And that's just not, that's pretty intense temperature dropping for sure.
One good thing is it's everybody's kind of having the same kind of weather, kind of up and down. Phineas and Ferb, that was another one. Cute. That is cute.
I'm not sure that our girls would know.
Aiden would know it.
Yeah, Aiden would know Phineas and Ferb, and we know it because Aiden.
Aiden watched it religiously when we were younger.
He did, but I'm not sure that the girls, they would be like, what?
Oh, yeah, Eli, that's right. It's crazy. We had great weather this last week. It was really chilly, and I enjoy chilly weather. Misty, being pregnant, really enjoys it because she freezes me out in this house now. Usually it's the other way around. Hey, Stacey, too, family.
I'm carrying a lot of extra poundage and the blood flowage. So I'll be walking around sweating and saying, turn the heat off. And the kids got up this morning, they were like, it's freezing. I'm like, don't touch the heat.
And if you know Misty is actually really cold natured.
Typically extremely cold natured.
Extremely cold natured. Usually we're burning up in this house in winter because she has got the heat blaring and the fire sitting right by.
Not when I'm 9 months pregnant.
So everybody's been freezing since she's been pregnant. We're not letting her be pregnant again. We're gonna let you be pregnant next time, like in the summer.
No, that was no. I had Jennings in August, and that was you talk about hot Mississippi,
the sip.
Big, humid. That was not fun.
It does get humid. I don't know if y'all have humid weather like Mississippi. South Mississippi is humid. I saw some people from Birmingham. So
Jennings was August, but pretty much all of our other babies were. Harley was the end of November. Selah was the beginning of January. Ellie was in March, and Ellie was in March. Aiden, he was the one I was missing. Aiden is in April. So here we're falling kind of in the middle of all of those with Livy, and that's Livie. I had somebody message me the other day and say it is Libby, right? But I was like, I'm so country.
I know somebody the other day was like, I guess it's our accent. I don't know.
It's because we're so country.
That one, Sylvie Pastor. I call it Sylvia Pastor. She was like, "What are you saying? Central Pastor? What are you saying? Are you trying to say Civil Pastor?" And I said, "It's Civvy Pastor here." So, and Ichinea, that was another one. We call it Ichinea here, but man,
it must be pronounced different somewhere else.
Jeez. Yeah. So some of y'all like kinfolk and Emily, all y'all are from the same area, so y'all are feeling the weather for sure.
We love your accent.
I know, it's kind of funny there. All right.
Yeah, so I was talking to one of our followers that private messaged me, and she said Libby, Libby or Liby or something. It wasn't right, and I was like, "Look, it's totally my accent. I'll totally take the fall for that."
We blow it.
Livie, Libby.
Yeah, I can't remember. I saw that comment come across too. So. All right, so tell us about. We got all your temperatures for sure. So tell us about what's going on at your house. Are you preparing for Christmas? Are you gardening anywhere?
Hope y'all are preparing for Christmas.
Yeah, it might be a little late if you're not preparing for Christmas. You can give up that Amazon Prime for 2 days. You can get it in 2 days. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Heirloom Permaculture. How are y'all?
Have you ever used goldenrod for anything?
We don't use goldenrod. It grows crazy wild here, and it does great for our bees. So our goldenrod, I know people don't like goldenrod honey, but it's one of the best producers for fall, which ultimately will carry our bees through the winter. So that's a great question, by the way. But we don't actually plant goldenrod, but it grows like
it's native here, yes, and it grows everywhere. And we our bees utilize that. It is their food. So
let's see. I put my garden to bed. We actually, I was telling somebody today, we normally have a strong fall and winter gardens. Our gardens are usually
making hot chocolate bombs. That's awesome.
But to be honest with you, this year it's just been kind of, it's not been anything spectacular. Well, the chickens in the chickens' life.
They had like a huge part of we planted broccoli, we planted lettuces, but the Freedom Rangers.
Hey, Instead Homestead, how are you?
Keep getting out. I'm gonna let you catch up on comments while I'm saying this. So we had tons of problems with chickens getting out this year.
Hey, Josie.
And every time they would get out, they would get in our beds and scratch and eat all the greens. So nothing that we planted around the house, a lot of it has started coming up. Onions, carrots, everything.
It's starting to come up, but it's because it's so late, like Misty said, because we were having chickens, and I think we were having, and the garlic and onions, I think we were having possums. Not as much chickens, because they were like, it was bigger claws. So, hey, Grammy Karen, how are you?
So frustrating, though, to go out, spend money on organic compost and materials, and put all that stuff down. You spend all that time putting that stuff down. Then you buy all the seed and you're out watering and watering and watering. And then like in a matter of just a few days, I mean, they had it just destroyed. Actually, it's been planted 2 times.
Twice.
And
it's finally coming up because we've got the chicken tractor that will be locking those things up. And then guess what? If they get out, like if we let them out during the day, they're not going back in the nets.
There's one out today.
Or we put them in the coops.
But Aiden can't catch it by himself because they're so fast.
We just throw them in the coop. And y'all with the Freedom Rangers, y'all can keep them. I don't like those Freedom Rangers.
We
they want freedom.
We bought them with intentions specific intentions, but they can fly out of anything. They can get out of anything.
That sounds good,
and
Tim
they are
folks.
so fast.
Hey,
They're
Terry.
so hard to catch. And I can't help Aiden anymore. I mean, I'm to the point where it's hard for me to walk, much less run after the chickens. So
we ate 2 chickens tonight. It made me want to eat them after seeing these chickens out, but I just don't like these Freedom Rangers. I think they're beautiful. I really do.
But with their demeanor, they really have grown way slower than even what we anticipated. Yeah. They just got a net. I mean, they're in a hot fence net.
We should be the spokesperson for Premier One. We rotate about 12 nets on all our farm. Actually, a little bit more than that probably.
But the Freedom Rangers are the only ones.
Yeah, and they can get out of any net. They're in the shocker knot now, so they're not getting out the bottom, but they're still learning how to just jump. It's amazing. I've never had any issues with the regular layers that were grown in nets. No, not the ones on coops, but the ones that's grown in nets and the Cornish cross. I may have one randomly get out, and the Cornish cross is so fat, that. I mean, basically it gets out and you just go catch it. I mean, you just pick it up and put it back in there. But with the Freedom Rangers, they're too quick, too fast, and they need to be on the grill. I cannot stand the Freedom Rangers. I'm sorry.
Somebody said, did you clip their wings?
We have clipped several of their wings, but something about them, they can get out. It blows my mind. And we're not little chicken people. Like, we like the fat hens. We like the big stuff. And these Freedom Rangers remind you of like a bantam. I mean, they kind of are very small. I just don't like them.
We haven't been impressed.
We're going back to Cornish cross.
The people that we talked to, that's all they raised. Just love them, love them, love them.
And they're beautiful. I'm not saying that. They just get on my nerves.
We personally have not been impressed. We didn't like them. I can see why a lot of people like Justin Rhodes.
We do clip one, Rehab Life.
Justin Rhodes, Mr. Joel Salatin. Like, I can see now why all they raise is.
I would say if you're doing the chicken tractors, moving the chicken tractors, almost like almost kind of like the primal pastures, the bigger style chicken tractors. The Freedom Rangers I could see working because it cleans the ground, and even the pasture they'd be fine. But when we have them next to the house, because we rotate our chickens next to the house in kind of like zone 1 in permaculture. We like the Cornish cross better. I mean, we really do. So, but anyways,
our customers like a chicken around 5.5 pounds.
This year, this is what we're going to do. We raised 3 sets last year, and this was our 4th set going into this year. So we're going to raise Cornish cross, and we're going to let them get humongous this next time. We're going to let them almost get too big just to see how they do. Because usually we'll raise an average 3 to 4 pound, and we need to raise a bigger bird, so we're going to raise.
And for us, what we've realized is we are a family of 7, about to be 8, and one chicken at average 4 pounds is just not enough for us. We need that extra pound or 2. So I told Colby, I was like, I hate to spend more money on them because the longer they stay, the more you're feeding, which obviously is more expensive. And by that time, you're kind of ready. After like a few weeks of them, you're kind of like, okay, I'm done, ready to get them over with. But we really need to let these next batches get probably closer to your 5.5, 6 pounds. That will be good for us.
And see, what's great is we're fixing to place our order again on the next set for this year. We just talked about today. So we will do our next Cornish cross come.
So I see a lot of different poundage, 7 to 8. Karen says 6 to 6.5, 2 quacks and 5 clucks. So
what? You said your hair looks good. I'm just saying your hair does look fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much.
Pop up. Let's see if we can get it off there. Okay.
It needs to be more tended to, but today was just one of those days where we got up, and I feel like this whole week is just going to be totally rushed. Just there's something to do every day.
Hey, Sean, Alaska.
I'm not making. I think I've told you guys this before. I in the past have had like huge clients for sourdough cinnamon rolls. That's just something we've done every year. It's like a Christmas thing. And I usually send out hundreds of pans.
Crazy amounts of cinnamon
hundreds
rolls.
of pans of cinnamon rolls. Well, this year, with me being 9 months pregnant,
bump that.
I just couldn't see making so many cinnamon rolls. They're very time consuming because if you guys know, sourdough, it's 2 12-hour rises. You have to roll them out. You have to bake them. You have to ice them. And then I always wrapped mine up with ribbon. That's very time consuming for a pan of cinnamon rolls. So I just said this year, I don't think my feet can do it at 9 months. So we're not doing that. But I do have the week of Christmas. I told several of my friends, look, if you need them for happies, for your coworkers or teachers gifts or, whatever, I'll make up until like the week of Christmas. But anything after that, I can't commit to because we're really going to be pushing it. So
Miss Sandy, she does have more energy than most, but I will say today she has been worn out. She's worn out today. She needs a good nap.
Yeah, today was, and I didn't even like tomorrow is my cinnamon roll making day. I have 2 different orders, one of 5 pans and one of 2 that I'll be making for this weekend, and I'll have to do those tomorrow.
Big Dave said he liked Jennings vlogging a little bit on the video.
He had my phone today. He was moving it around. And I said, "Are you recording for us?" But he had it on the camera. It wasn't actually on the video. But
I'm gonna try to pick him. He every once in a while, if y'all know any of our videos with our children, Selah is gonna get that happy homestead y'all in. I mean, I don't know. I mean, y'all have got to see that. So now he's like little Selah. So he looks like Selah. And so now he gets to a point where he tries to get happy homestead y'all out, and we can understand him, but you definitely can't understand him. But it's so funny because he
2.5-year-old
he just yells it. He just yells the gibberish like he's telling you happy homestead y'all. So what's so funny though is when we actually turn the camera to him to actually do it,
he won't say
it. so we're gonna have to try to trick him into doing it one day. So it's kind of like Aiden playing guitar. We try to catch Aiden playing guitar and put it on our blogs. And every time we actually show him playing guitar, he stops playing. He's like, "What?" So
I told him the other day that I wanted him to play and let us get the music to put in some of our videos. So
yeah.
Aiden has really
a lot of our vlogs. You'd be surprised. A lot of our vlogs have our music in them. So Aiden's gonna be good and featured in some of them. So.
Yeah. You just got to get him out of his shyness a little bit.
I see some people talking about sourdough. Missy does 2 sourdoughs. One is the potato flake and sugar, which is more of an unhealthy, I'm going to gain a lot of weight for Christmas sourdough, which is the best, but that's the ones for cinnamon rolls. And then she does artisan brilliant too, which is going to be your stronger sourdough, which is more what people are used to with flour and water. So
flour and water.
Aiden is growing up way too much. Rehab life, I do. I play guitar. Aiden learned from me. But we have guitars and mandolins and dulcimers and all that fun stuff. So. Hi from Loosedale. Luana, welcome. You're not too far from us. I saw somebody a while ago comment, we're in Mississippi. We're in South Mississippi. We're about an hour south of our capital. Hey, Miss Sue, how are you? Miss Susan? Missing a lot. There's a few from California today, so thank y'all for coming on. So, we talked about naming the pigs, and I know we'll get to that, but we had some awesome suggestions. Actually, some of them were very unique. I mean, ones that y'all came up were just phenomenal. So we'll get to that. We did have one that was probably the most common. That's the one we'll actually.
You'll have to tell them the most popular ones definitely. That kind of come across that we narrowed it down to a list and then just kind of went and looked across the board and we saw certain ones the most, and then we kind of talked to the kids tonight and said, okay, what do you guys think out of this list? This is the one that we saw the most, and they were on board with it. So
we've played a few 6-string banjos on grid. I don't play a banjo. I can probably figure out the notes because I can do that just about any string instrument, but I don't play the banjo. Just I like if I'm gonna play anything that's bluegrassy, I'm gonna like a mandolin.
Macomb, that's
hey
even closer.
That's right. You're not far at all from us. That's awesome.
outdoor pizza oven. Now that would be
cool. Rock. I don't know if y'all watch My Self-Reliance. I've gotten I've been binging his stuff, and if you're crazy off grid, he is crazy off grid. But anyways, he built this outdoor oven thing, and it looks like
ideas.
I know he's intense, but he has this outdoor oven thing that he built, and it reminds you of a big old pizza oven, but really he does it for everything. But I would say that's cool. The next project we're diving into is we're going to be building a smokehouse. So that's going to be a big project for us for 2021. So we're not going to build a monster one like a lot of people build. We're going to build one a little bit smaller, one big enough to take a quarter of a pig, pretty much in there. So
that's something that we desperately need because
yes,
if we're raising those animals, it will benefit us more not to have to haul those animals to another place to be processed. It will just be even more beneficial to us to have a smokehouse here so that we can do those things here. So that's one of our major goals.
Sean Last got to do too. I think Sean James is awesome. I've gotten to where I just watch him all the time now. I don't even watch YouTube a lot. I mean, I don't get to, but we'll go to bed, and Misty and her, she's usually the one that stays up past me. I'm usually the early bird, especially because I get up and milk. But lately, she's been going to bed early, and I've been staying up.
I'm carrying a lot of extra stuff over here.
I'm carrying a lot of extra stuff too, but that's what I watch at night because Missy could care less about really being that much off grid to where he is just crazy off grid. So we have.
Well, and I'm so tired. Usually, when my head hits the pillow, I'm like.
So, anyways, all right. So let's say we'll go ahead and do this because if we don't go into the pigs, we'll forget and wait to the end. Or should we just wait to the end?
It doesn't matter. I don't think they care probably that much.
Well, if you don't care, we're going to go with it anyway then. So the top names for our pigs, most of y'all probably saw them in there. So the top 4 names for our pigs were Bo and Luke, Dukes of Hazzard. We had
Fred and Barney.
Fred and Barney, thank you. Fred and Barney. We had Bert and Ernie. And what was the other one I told you?
Let me see. Let me go back and look.
I had 4, and I had these all ready to tell you tonight, and I cannot remember the last one. We had a lot of bacon, sausage, and that's what the first 5 pink pigs we owned were. But what was the last one I said? Pete and Repeat.
Which was really
cute. So Pete and Repeat was pretty cute too because I was thinking, what they were saying. Okay, Pete is going to be your feeder, and then Repeat is going to be your breeder. So Pete will leave, and then you'll have Repeat. So that was pretty really cute too. And Abbott and Costello was a close fit.
Yeah, that we saw that come across a few times too.
Yeah, so North Star Prep Stereo, you're on it. So out of those 4, what would y'all say was on top? So throw them out. Goose and Maverick's good, Big Dave. That's pretty good. A lot of people wouldn't know that, but I do know. My wife probably wouldn't know that.
What did you say? I wasn't listening.
Goose and Maverick. Top Gun. All right, so we had a few Bo and Luke's thrown out. So what would you say is the top one? All right, so we have a few people saying on grid say number 4.
See a lot of
gosh, so yeah, they're nailing that.
I thought that was really cute. Our kids.
Aiden was like, "What? What does that even mean?" Hey, Justin, how are you, man? Gosh, there's a lot of Pete and Repeat.
I like Pete and Repeat, but like I said, we sat down with the kids and we're kind of like, okay, y'all, this is kind of what it has been narrowed down to. These are the most common.
Okay, let me give you a hint. If our kids are involved in this decision, what would you say? Hey, James, how are you, man? Still a lot of Pete and Repeats.
So I thought that was super cute. I really did. I never would have come up with that.
All right, I see them start to come now. There you go. So that is the answer. Bert and Ernie are going to be the names of the pigs. And I'm like Misty. I was a Pete and Repeat fan or Bo and Luke fan, to be honest with you. But both our kids, all our kids were like, what is that? Aiden knew what Bo and Luke were. But Bert and Ernie was definitely the top. So the name of the 2 pigs are going to be Bert and Ernie. Now we got to figure out which
and
one's
it's
Bert and which
cute
one's
because
Ernie.
it's like a cartoon, and then Peppa and George they're from a different cartoon. So if y'all are not familiar with Peppa Pig, that's where George and Peppa come from, is from another cartoon. So
there was somebody the other day that said,
the pigs are going to be named after cartoon characters.
We've named George and Peppa years ago. I mean, years ago. But it was funny the other day, somebody that was watching us diligently went back and watched our pig playlist, and she said, I finally got who George and Peppa, I mean, what you named that after. Yeah. And so I told them the story of Selah and things like that. Selah named those two pigs. So.
I'm over Sesame Street after the Oscar the Grouch mask commercial. We don't watch TV, so we didn't see that at all.
We have no idea.
but I'm still very careful about what I let them watch on Sesame Street, because
indoctrination in general.
Yes, some of it is we view things a little bit differently on what's portrayed on there. So we do have to kind of watch that. But yeah, but they knew who Bert and Ernie were. So when we went through the list, they were all about that.
So that's taken care of. Now we got to figure out which one's going to be Bert and which one's going to be Ernie.
Yeah.
So that's what we got to figure out next. So and what's so funny is we've had pigs for a long time, but we've never named them. And I saw somebody say a while ago, you can't name what you eat. We have named everything we've ate. So I'm sorry.
Well, the cows we have, the pigs, like the big boy pigs, we didn't name them.
We didn't. That's right. We didn't.
But we did the cows we have. But and then our chickens, of course, our chickens we don't. Now, some people really do name all their chickens, but we would have to be like.
We're not those kind of people. I'm sorry, y'all. We're not those kind of people.
But the cows we do. I mean,
we named the lamb, so we'll,
Yeah, we did name the sheep.
Yeah.
They're not lambs anymore.
No, they're not lambs anymore. They are sheep. All right, so let's see.
Bert will be bigger than Ernie.
Kimmy says Bert will be bigger than Ernie. So we'll do Bert. It's got to be them. He'd have to be the breeder because he's bigger, the one that was sick.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird though, because here we are. We're an organic farm, so we don't treat unless like of course we had to treat them. But what was so unique that Ben and Andrea had a sick pig, and there was 2 or 3 other ones had a sick pig. So it must have been just the weather change. I don't know what it is.
I think it was. If it was not that, like we said, we'd given them
thank you, Miss Terry.
Just a ton of scraps. Some of them had bones left over from Thanksgiving, and just not exactly sure what was going on. But because 1, we were not going to be consuming him, and 2, we wanted to save his life. It was just one of those things where you just have to do what you got to do sometimes. So, but he's doing really well, very well.
That's cool, Miss Rebecca. Big light show.
And the sheep, speaking of the sheep, those girls are getting real.
Man, well, I showed them, I think, in the last video, but what's so funny?
I don't know who's going to pop first, them or me.
What's so funny, though, is our littlest lamb, or sheep, I say lamb, our littlest sheep is actually, to me, looks like she's further along.
It's probably just because she's so little, though.
That could be what it is. She has gotten huge, though. They're funny to me. The sheep, they're just funny to me. But the two girls, one of the girls, the oldest girl, she's not as close to us. I mean, every once in a while you can pet her, but she's standoffish.
Yeah.
But the other ones, she is loud and vocal like her brother, which is the weather. So both of them are very, very vocal, and they love being right under you the whole time. So they're fun.
Yes, Grammy Karen. Usually by the end of the days, I'm kind of tired. Now I had some nerve issues for several weeks when Colby and I was gone. I was having some walking issues. Thankfully, that has resolved. And usually, when I get up first thing in the morning, I feel really good all day. And then by the end of the day, I'm just kind of tired, but it's okay. It's just part of it. And I'm up and down through the night.
She don't really stop much.
Colby said, "What did you tell me the other night? You were like, when you get up in the middle of the night, what'd you tell me to do? Wake you up for
No, I need to put more logs on the fire."
He was like, when you get up in the middle of the night, wake me up so I can go put some logs on the fire. I don't want the fire to die. So one of the times I got up, I was like, "Hey, Colby, you want to go put some logs on the fire?" It took me a few times to shake him to get him up, but he finally got up.
I get up through the night, typically every night, but we were losing. Our fire was getting so hot because we were using more seasoned wood. So then, by the time I got up at like 4 in the morning to milk, it was like burned out. So then I was like, "Gosh, I have to use more kindling and all that." So I told her she better start waking me up. Colby's getting on Misty's last nerve. I stay on Misty's last nerve. Hey, we do have a good video coming out though from yesterday. We won't break the news too much, but we were able to celebrate our anniversary yesterday. So that video will come out probably Friday, probably. So yeah, y'all see a little of that as well.
Newest grandbaby number 9 due on the 30th. That is awesome. That is awesome. Pretty much right with me. I've had some early, I've had some late, so we're gonna fall somewhere in between. Christmas, I'm assuming maybe the week before Christmas or the week after Christmas. So we'll see.
Please, just not on Christmas. Our other kids they would not like that baby ever again.
She can come whenever she is ready. She is welcome. So.
Oh goodness.
Thank y'all.
Yes, thank y'all very much. We had a good time. It was a good day.
Did. We sat down when we were able to sit down and talk. We were like, I mean, it's been a bunch of years, but it's kind of mind blowing. I'm like, I guess at times we still feel like we're like in our 20s, and we're so not in our 20s anymore. So it's like we were able to sit down and talk, and we were like, man, where's the time gone? I mean, where has the time gone? How many years should we tell them? You want to tell them?
We've been married for 14 years.
We've been married for 14 years. We dated in high school and college, so
we need to do our story one day. We need to just sit down and do our story, vlog our whole story. We were high school sweethearts.
Yeah. So to think about it, I know a lot of people that have been married a long time.
All it does is pick up speed, Grammy.
I agree. I can totally.
We're those kind of people that we really enjoy the brevity of life. So we really try to focus on our children. We really try to focus on home and sitting around the table. What you see in the videos is real. We really sit around the table
every night,
every day. I mean, actually,
we do for breakfast and lunch, but then
even at supper,
sometimes Colby can't come, home for those during that time. But every night it's around the table.
And still to that point, we see how fast time goes.
Yep,
crazy.
That's kind of what we were talking about last night. We just got to sit down and just eat, and we were like, 14 years it has come and gone. So next year will be 15 years, y'all. That's like
we're getting old.
That's like when you include our dating and stuff too. That's like more than half of our lives.
She's like last night. She said, "You've been like in my life like half my life."
Yeah.
She kind of sounded like mad about it.
No, it just blows my mind. I mean, I'm just kind of like, it really makes you feel like, we were talking about getting older. It really does make you feel like you're getting older.
She was making fun. Look, she even compared me.
Tony, don't go there.
She told me that I was getting too gray right here in the sun. And I said, well, at least I'm not losing my hair. And she said, that's almost the same thing. That just blew my mind. I told her most men would just love to have hair, even if it's white. Am I right, everybody? Nobody wants, we don't want to do that comb over thing.
Well, when you have a lot of gray in your low 30s, that's, is it bald or gray at 30?
Hey. Gray is better than bald, I would say. No offense to all you bald guys out there. Oh, gosh. It's definitely bleaching my hair. I think it's my stress level. It might be the farm, too. So, Greg said, careful.
Mine is light, but I still have hair.
I'd rather have hair than no hair, so I'm good with that. So. What's up, Tim? What's up, man? How are you? Hey, Ridge Life. What's up, Alton? Hey.
Wait, gray and whites are the bomb. Well, I remember how I was going to say, I don't even know how did we get on that?
I don't even know how we got on that stuff.
Because we were talking about in that car when I was telling you Gray had done great a lot. It's like, we're getting really old and you're getting really gray. Hey, it's good to be honest, right?
Well, at least she told me I was getting gray, not fat. I'm getting fat too, but at least she didn't just call me out on it. So. No, my wife was a cheerleader. I was not a football player by any means. Let's see.
Colby was very artsy, though. I mean, he was.
I played music and things
I won't
like
say
that.
that he was in a band like the marching band.
No, not at all.
But I mean, he was in a group, and they played for like churches and church events and stuff like that. So Colby's very artistic. One thing that y'all don't know about him in North Star Pet Center, I loved watching your artwork the other night. I was telling Colby how beautiful it was. Colby is very, very artistic too. But he can draw really well. He can paint really well, and he doesn't use his talents like he should. And I fuss at him all the time about. I'm like, God blessed you with being able to play guitar and be able to, being able to play some different kinds of instruments. And he's very, like I said, he can draw really well, and he's very good at painting. I can't do any of that. And but he doesn't use his talents. And like, was it last year, the year before? I think it was like 2 years ago. I like made him paint me some pictures for the house. And there's like one over here, and I have a nativity scene that he painted. Harley, grab me that nativity scene from over there.
No, do not.
And it's really good. I mean, he just freehanded it, just done it in like 20 minutes.
No.
Yes, I want to show him how good it is. Because he did this nativity scene for me. Isn't that really cute?
I am too busy milking cows.
In no time. And I'm like, I wish I had that skill. I wish I had that ability, but he doesn't use it like he should. He's very talented.
I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Are we okay on the chat?
Yeah, I was reading the comments too.
I'm sorry, I was going. For a minute, mine's logged. I mean, it stopped, froze up.
So yeah, but anyway, Colby is very talented. So use it or lose it. Yeah, I've told him that a lot. Aiden said the other day, he's like, I don't know why Daddy won't play guitar in church any. I'm like, well, you don't either. He doesn't either. So
Little feet, are you milking twice a day?
Typically they do.
Yeah, we're milking once a day.
Thankfully, we've trained our girls to in the morning.
Yeah.
Smack him harder, Misty.
I couldn't imagine milking twice a day anymore. I mean, I just. That is completely true, North Star Prep Stutter. I think mine's stress. Mine is stress by far. Well, Ridge Life, I tried to talk Aiden into doing more milking for me, so I could go to sleep more, and he laughed at me, so he thought that was kind of funny. So I don't know if that would work.
One day, I mean, he did really well when we were gone.
He did.
And one day, he'll grow into that responsibility, that farm chore. But right now, he's 12 and a half, and he already has a lot of responsibility on him now. As far as he feeds and waters and by himself, and then he helps move.
That's right, Leslie.
He helps move, rotate the animals, and he's responsible sometimes for nets and stuff like that. So,
Little feet, you can still train your animal. I don't know how much she's been milked, but we don't feed a calf. We're not calf sharing either, and we're only milking once a day. However, we're not feeding grains either. We don't feed grains. If you're feeding grains, you probably are milking twice a day. Thanks so much, Billy Coon. Merry Christmas to y'all, too.
It will be here soon, guys. Gray hair comes with wisdom.
That's right. Tell him, Kim.
I will agree. I'll agree to that. I was just saying you're getting a lot more of it.
She's like, when we go in the sun,
grayer and wiser.
Every time we go in the sun, she's like, "Gosh, Colby, you're getting a lot of gray hair." You make fun of me.
You're getting more gray hair and I'm getting more round. So.
Oh goodness. Hey Jacob Vince, how are you? So a few more things happening this week. I got lost in the chat. I'm sorry. So a few more things happening this week. We got the pigs, and we have our video coming out tomorrow of us splitting all the pigs, getting them all ready. So you'll see that tomorrow. It was a great video, I thought, if you're talking about moving pigs and dealing with pigs. So, anyways, you'll see that tomorrow. We actually have called the butcher, and we've got that lined up. We'll actually be.
Oh, we really wanted them to have babies.
I know we keep holding out, but one day I'm just hoping we'll just walk out there and see piglets. But I just don't think that's going to happen. So we're actually cleaning. I spent a few hours the last few mornings cleaning out room in the freezer. So I think I've just kind of got the fact that I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So
yeah.
Hey, from the Philippines, welcome. So that's what we're planning on. We're getting ready for those pigs to go, and that kind of for us. If we could get to that point where we butcher them out, we really we're taking our farm down, and it's kind of a good time to take down because we are having a baby. So our milking stops December 31st too, for freshen up for Allie. So it's going to kind of slow down.
Allie
farming.
Is really rounding out too.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Colby keeps saying, I don't know if she's going to make it to the end of March, but that's her vet check was about
the end of March.
Mid to the end of March. Colby says she's so big though. She is. She's really rounding out in her belly, which I can't check her from the back and all that like he does when he's out there milking her. But
I think she's a little bit quicker than we thought. I think she's going to be closer to the end of February. And if that's the case, again, we're trying to get her through to when we have the baby, and then of course we will we'll freshen her up too. So she's doing great. I'm not complaining by no means. Thank you, man. Thank you, Jacob.
And we're going to be preparing Josie for breeding. This spring, so we're excited about that. So we'll have, once we breed her, we will start stanching training with her, even though it will be very minimum. When Allie goes out, he'll get Josie in, put her in the I mean, what is that little part? I mean, it's just, the whole thing's like the stanchion, but the little,
thank you, Grammy Karen,
like head gate piece, and actually give her some feed and let her get comfortable getting in there, and do that until she literally will just go in on her own. She knows the routine. That way, whenever she does calf, and Allie comes out, she knows it's her turn to go in. So it's so important to stanchion train. If y'all saw our very first video, y'all saw what struggles we had with Elsa.
To be it really more than Elsa. Elsa was a struggle trying to get used to coming into our stanchion. She was a dairy milk cow before we got her. But Allie was still a headstrong first time heifer who was like, you're not going to break me. I mean, that's kind of how Allie was. Now she is the threadbare version of a milk cow, a family milk cow. So when I say that, stanchion training is huge, and we're actually going to be doing some stanchion training on a 12-month-old cow. I mean, a calf, basically, a heifer. So Josie will start stanchion training now.
Well, so it allows. Whenever we breed her,
you're right. So it helps for that 3 months to get. 9 months and 10 months to get used to her life.
And if y'all watch, if any of you guys are familiar with White House on Hill, they had a really hard time getting their cow in and getting. I can't remember her name. Y'all remember their cow's name? I can't remember. I can't remember. But they had a hard time getting her in, and I can remember watching them struggle. And I just encouraged them, don't give up. It's going to get better. Don't give up. It's going to get better. And one of the last videos, I was able to watch a few snippets of it, and she's doing really well. And but it is so important to start working with them in advance, because the last thing you want to try to deal with is throwing a calf in on she doesn't know what to do. I didn't see that, Rachel. And she has a calf that she's being protected. I mean, it's a whole lot to it. So if they already know what to do, it makes it a little easier now that there's a calf involved, but stanchion training is very important. We can tell you that from personal experience. You go watch some people that have a family milk cow and they do not stanchion train them, you're going to see some struggles.
Big Dave, we actually, the garage is ready. It is full and ready for my wife, which is the biggest. and so we are actually working on that side. Actually, a guy who's going to come help me of closing the other side. We got to move that hay out still, but we're still working on that on the hay barn. Let's see. I missed one more
Do you
comment.
hand milk or use a machine?
I've done both. I hand milked. I actually love hand milking. However, you can't find someone who hand milks for you if you need to go somewhere. So we have a machine that we use now. The reason we did that was when we first started hand milking, and then we tried to use the milker with Elsa, our original milk cow. She wasn't having it. It was just too much for her to change. So we went on and made her become used to the milk machine, and so did we do. We did that with Allie too.
Let me. So if y'all have never watched the very first video, we bought Elsa from a dairy farm. She was already in milk. So the day that we went and picked her up, she had already been milked. We brought her to our farm. In less than 24 hours, she had to be milked again. She did not know us. She did not know where she was. She did not know stanchion. She did not know our machine. So she was very scared, and rightfully so. I mean, she was out of her element. She did not know, and it was wet and nasty.
That video quality is terrible. Please know that. I'm sorry about that, but
it was a good video. It showed our struggle. I mean, we spent hours trying to get her in that stanchion. And I mean, it's just real life. It is what it is.
North and South.
Anyway, but we finally got her in. We finally got her milk. But we took the machine. We'd already had the machine. We took it in there. And the machine was giving us fits. She didn't like the sounds. It wasn't, I mean, it was really bad. So Colby hand milked. And for several days, we drug that thing out there. It was muddy, which did not help. And tried to use it. And you're right, it didn't work. The machine was giving us fits. She didn't like the sound of it. And it was just, so for months, Colby hand milked her. And then why did we decide to mess with the pump?
We had somebody, because we were wanting to go somewhere, and someone told us that we can goat milk. I mean, we milk goats, but we can't hand milk a cow. And I could never find anybody that would hand milk.
That's a huge difference between what you get from a goat and a cow.
So
she was a full size Jersey.
And I did a video on that machine, but basically we took that milker and just did some things to it, bought some pieces for it, and just tried to really get it working. And by
this time, she had been with us for months.
Oh yeah.
So she knew her routine. She knew Colby. And when you got it out there, and I can't remember if I went out there and helped you that day or not, but got it on her, worked fine, and she did great. Which y'all know that Elsa's not with us anymore, but
I hate that. She's actually my favorite.
Yeah, she was just a sweetheart, but anyway.
But Allie does great with it. But a long story short, we've done both hand milking and pump milking.
I thought that would be interesting.
If you are a full-time farmer or full-time homesteader, or enjoy that time, I would hand milk.
You can.
I mean, I would. It's more personable. We were milking 2, which made it'd be almost impossible for me to milk 2 in the mornings because I milk at 4 and 4:30. So I needed a pump for 2 cows.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was too hard to try to hand milk 2 cows.
And before work. That's right. I was gonna say, and you work
Hey, Marge.
Not a typical 8 to 5, but 8 to 5, I mean, all day. So that's kind of what led us to where we are now. Which now, like I said, we're just down to Allie, which Josie will be bred, which is her baby, will be bred this spring. And, we'll have 9 months to work with her and get her in and trained and be kind of excited to see what kind of baby she's going to have.
I don't know if a lot of our new viewers have seen our big farm. So we'll be doing a video on our big farm over the next few days. We actually have our big farm is where our our beef cattle are, most of our beef cattle. We have 2 steers here, which is Christoph and Petey, of course, y'all know. But y'all will see our bigger cows. We featured them in a few other videos, but we've got to be up there doing some work. We're going to be moving them and doing some hay work, and then also doing some family stuff up there. So you'll see those coming up in the next few videos. We'll talk a little about them. We will be moving some of them back to the house, to this homestead, to our real homestead, as we get better grass growing in those 2 new spots that y'all saw. So you'll see that.
So there will be no milking here at the Mindful Homestead. We had to draw a line somewhere.
I love milking. It's actually, when stress, to me, something about milking and working with bees. Both of those things are not stressful to me. I don't want to be stung by my bees because I kind of swell. But like, just dealing with cattle and dealing with the bees, they're both just peaceful. I don't know what it is. I can be stressed all the time, but I just like milking. That's one thing I enjoy doing. And every morning, I go out early. It's dark when I go out and milk. So, I mean, it's, especially when the stars are out, it's just beautiful. Like this morning, we had just gorgeous stars out. So it was really nice milking this morning. So
Film said, Misty, I'm ready to see your baby. We are ready to see her too.
Yeah, we are too. We are too. I'm anxious to see if she looks like any of our kids. All our kids are.
Poor little Harley. Well, to me, Aiden and Elizabeth, the 2 blondes, look alike. And then Jennings and Sayla look a lot. I mean, they're almost like little twins.
Yeah.
And then poor little Harley, she's the only brown hair. She got my hair and Colby's eyes. So she's kind of the oddball of them all. And so it would be sweet if Livy looked like Harley, if she had brown hair and brown eyes.
Thanks, Dad Boy. Tammy, I don't know if I'd call myself a highly allergic. I'd be more systemic allergic. Local allergic. If I get stung, I swell it pretty good. But I enjoy them. Like, actually, when it was getting hot Friday, it's supposed to be warm here Friday before it rains. I'm thinking about going into the bees and doing a little video on it and just kind of making sure they're okay for winter. So I might be having a bee video out. My bee videos are not the most popular, but I love them. So if I do little snippets, you better watch my bee videos.
The bees are actually really, really cool. I will say the worst experience that I had, I've gotten stung by them before, but I walked outside one day and they love to come to our salt water that's up here behind the house. Behind the house. Behind the house on the porch. And I walked out and stepped on one, and my foot, I used to laugh at Colby when he would swell up, and that was terrible. My whole foot swole up.
She couldn't even walk.
It was pretty painful. So I said after that, I was like, I'm sorry, I laughed at you. I won't laugh at you anymore.
If you go to our Facebook,
that happens to him always. When I would get stung by him, I would just, of course, get the stinger out, and it would itch me for like a day or two. But I would never swell, it never get red or anything. But the one that I stepped on, my whole foot was swollen. It was solid red. He's right. I couldn't hardly walk on it. I was like hobbling around on my side, and it was just.
Hey, you know what I did though? I laughed because she laughs at me. So I knew, I was like, you know what? Now you're getting what you paid for all those times.
Yeah.
We own a family business, Big Dave, me and my dad. So we work together, and most of the time my hours are crazy. So thank you, John Briggs. I hope you will watch our bee videos. Acre wise, we have, so our homestead sits on about 35 acres. We farm, I'd say, about 10 to 15 acres of that. The rest is we have a lake that y'all have seen, and then we have a pine thicket, and then we have another little pine thicket too, right by where the sheep are. But I'd say we do about.
Hey, Grandma, so happy. Thank you for joining
10 to 15 acres that we're actually farming and homesteading and gardening on. Our beef farm, and we'll talk more about that. That's where the big hay barn is and all that. There is some more acreage up there. But it's kind of the same process of what we're doing here. It's just really pasture for cows. So, and we'll be moving a lot more of them here as we get to the point of having more grass here.
We start our live at 8 p.m. Central Time.
8 p.m. Central. Great questions tonight, guys.
Yep. And as always, we've enjoyed having y'all. Know Grandma's so happy. I talked to you a little bit the other night about elderberry syrup. If you've been able to watch my videos, awesome. If not, if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Grandma Karen.
It's really easy to do. It's not hard to do at all. And we drink it daily.
We drink a lot of it.
And you know, even Jennings, right. I will catch him with the bottles sometimes. So even the 2.5-year-old approves the elderberry syrup. So
all right, I'm trying to count our beef cattle. We have okay, we have Allie and Daddy-O and Josie are here, and Christoph. That's our jerseys. So we have 4 jerseys, dairy. Then we have Petey.
Petey's here, but he is
okay. So we have
beef.
Ginger, Holly, Lily, Macy,
Ferdinand,
Petey, Nellie, and Ollie. So we have 8 beef cattle.
And right? Then Aiden's got Evie.
Yeah, and Aiden's got one named Evie. I think that's it. And so 9. We have 9. And Christoph's here. So we have 9 beef cattle, and then we have, of those 9, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 mama cows that are pregnant and should be calving at the first of the year.
And those are the 2 black ones, and then the two brown and white ones.
Yeah. Hey, so, you know what's so funny is we name our our cows in alphabetical order. Guess what? Guess what our next name has got to start with?
A Q.
A Q. So y'all have got to come up with a Q name for either a bull or heifer. So I hope you're ready for that.
Yep. So I'm not sure who would be due next. I'm not sure who would be. Who are we expecting next? Are we expecting Allie next?
No, it would probably be. I don't know. It would probably be the Herefords or Allie.
Yeah, I forgot.
The Herefords would probably be.
Bought them.
Nellie and Ollie would probably be next.
We bought them and they were bred. So
I almost bought. Oh, and we'll talk about this more. We almost bought a little Hereford bull. We were talking about adding another Quarantine. Oh my gosh, that would be an awesome name, Han Solo.
Well, Quarantine would definitely need to go to the freezer.
He needs to be killed.
Out of here.
That was a good one, though. I like that. What a perfect time. Here's to 2020. I hope we have that calf before the year end. I hope we need to have a calf named Quarantine. Oh, be careful. That was a good one. I like Quasimodo too. That's funny. So anyways, we have about 4 or 5. We actually have 5 calves that are supposed to have babies within the next 3 months. So
elderberry tablets to put in your green tea. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. We talked about doing an elderberry kombucha. We talked about that last live. Someone said that, so I thought that'd be kind of cool. So we might try that. Outback Steakhouse. That's cool. Yeah, so we're raising 2 steers right now, and that helps us.
Corona.
That's funny. That's good. I like that one too.
Those are cute, y'all.
Yeah, I'm hoping that our next one, we really need probably the next one to be a bull calf. I don't know. Really, we need either Angus's and our dairy to throw off bull calves, and we need our Herefords to throw off heifers.
Yeah.
We've been talking to them, trying to really teach them what to throw off. I don't think it's going to help them.
If we don't get to decide for ourselves, then we don't get to decide for them either.
Yeah, no, really. But you'll see some videos on those. We have a few videos on the big beef cattle, but you'll see those coming up. So before we leave, we have just about every animal on anything to do with homesteading. But what is your favorite part of the videos that we have? Do you like how we have done a little bit of everything in every video, or do you like a video that's more dedicated to something
specific?
What is your favorite?
Wait, Katie, I missed Katie's first comment.
Okay, I get lost in it. Grammy Kieran, we've talked about doing the membership. I don't know. We're not there yet. We've been blessed to have great followers, and thank y'all. And I hope y'all keep sharing us and subscribing and telling all your friends and binge watching all you want of the Max. But we're going to probably do something a little bit different on our members. If we ever do membership, it's going to be a really push to be
probably
something very unique.
Probably something outside of YouTube.
It may not be YouTube. It may be more private. So
yeah.
So Irma says she likes the way we're doing our videos now. A lot of people are saying everything, and that's well, we do about everything. So thank you, North and South. I've looked into Patreon. I don't know. We're playing with it. I don't know. We really want our content to just be great, and we hope y'all enjoy it and get something out of it anyway. Everything with our kids. Well, hey, we're gonna vlog the whole pregnancy. Misty's gonna, or the whole delivery. Misty's gonna be like hitting the camera. You're gonna see her in honest blood, sweat, tears.
You might have to put some music on there.
Yeah, we'll mute everything so you can't hear anything, and it's family friendly.
Hey, I don't use cursing words.
I know. You might be yelling at me though.
I might be yelling at him though.
We'll change Livy's name to Quasimodo or Quarina, so that'd be a good one. Oh gosh. Yeah, so what's going to be fun is we do have a lot of new things coming, so you'll be seeing a lot more on our gardens as we prep for those. Craig, thank you, man. I'm just glad someone got something out of my corner post and barbed wire. I cut my hand up so much doing barbed wire, so I really hope somebody got something out of the barbed wire.
Love the how-tos. We do have several how-tos. I have a how-to playlist, but we really need to do we really kind of need to add a cooking to it.
Yeah.
I will have a video coming out this weekend that's another recipe. So
yeah, hey, the weekend one, if you're looking for a healthy dessert, it rocks. Jadon, we don't cuss. We were just joking. She might give me a black eye though. That might be what happens. So. Karen said "Smackdown with Colby." Thank you, Miss Irene.
He might have a lot of cropping and editing to do.
So anyway, great videos coming up. You'll see tomorrow us move the pigs, get them ready for their new transitions. George and Peppa will be going back together. He'll be taking her on a date like I did, anniversary date. So he'll have her on a date. We have the two boys going back, which are now Bert and Ernie. I guess we need to find out which one's to be Bert, which one's to be Ernie.
Hey, the boy should be Ernie and the girl should be
They're both boys, girl.
Both boys. And then the two girls are going to be making their transition off the farm too. So
that's right. Rick, and I'm getting so much encouraging on the fact that these people are watching my fencing videos. Thank y'all.
That saved us thousands of dollars, y'all. I don't think like
$5,000 is what it saved us.
What was the total acreage that
we fenced in 6 acres of, that part of the fencing was 6 acres. We fenced in a new 6 acres basically.
And we did have it priced. Then after we heard the price, and then Colby had his heart attack.
I did.
He said,
I fell out.
I'm doing this myself.
I was like, I'm not paying somebody that money.
Thousands of dollars. Yep. So if at any point in time you ever have to do the barbed wire fencing, permanent fencing, it's step by step, and it's really
Terry, we'll be praying for y'all.
It's really not hard, but it is work. So
yeah.
But it did save us thousands of dollars. So
I do have some more to do, so I'll be doing that too for the first year. But
a lot of people are saying, "Hey, girls."
Hey, girls.
Well, Sayla can't read the comments yet, so.
All right, so we've passed our. Can you read?
You can read.
Kinda. All right, guys. So we are past. Right, we are past our hour, so we got to get off here.
Grade?
You're second grade.
Second grade. Third grade, second grade, and kindergarten. I have some doorsteps right here.
That was a fun few years. I will say that. We should have been vlogging that the whole time. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Be looking for the videos coming up. Tomorrow's will be focused on the pigs and sheep and how we move them and transitions for them. And then also, Missy's got a great video for the weekend dealing with cooking healthy snacks that are young. And then So we see that. You don't have to say everything that's on there. So, and then we have some new videos coming out too. So we hope you are ready for the new videos. You can watch them all, binge them all. Hopefully, have a new video coming up, and we can't edit Selah out. So, God bless.
Happy homesteading, y'all. Happy homesteading, y'all. Happy homesteading, y'all. Happy homesteading, y'all.
Good night, guys.
Happy homesteading, y'all.